Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome. I think we are in episode 14 of the Blumberg Digital Webinar series. And how many of you have been to a Blumberg Digital Webinar before? Raise your hands. I've been. Raise your hands. Okay, how many of you are here for the first time? Let's see it. Raise your hands, first time. Wow. Well, you have picked the right one to begin with. Oh my gosh. Because, and I'm going to tell this to everybody who's attended before, I think they've all been good. You know, I'll go ahead and pat myself on the shoulder. We've done some pretty decent content, mostly prepared by you all because you asked for certain things and we answer it. So great. But today you're going to get some real life scenarios of how to take some of the traffic, the leads. We're going to call them leads. We're going to call them reaches. When somebody reaches into you, what to do with it, what to do with that phone call, what to do with that patient, and how to convert that patient into a scheduled appointment. And then, how many of you place implants? Show me with your hands, you place implants? Okay, so how many of you want more implant traffic? Raise your hands, you want more implant traffic? Okay, good. And now this would apply to implant leads. This would apply to larger cosmetic cases. How many of you want larger cosmetic cases? Raise your hands. Good. Okay, and this would apply to Invisalign or clear aligners. How many of you want more Invisalign or clear aligners? Okay, and how many of you just generally would like, you know, larger treatment plans? You want larger treatment plans, you know, full crown and bridge, totally okay. Good. This is what this is about. Now, you are all predominantly MGE clients. I'm not going to replace MGE or the content on DDS success, not going there, not doing it. That said, marketing makes the phone ring. That's what marketing does. And I think most of you know that. Marketing makes the phone ring. Now, if marketing makes the phone ring, then let me ask you all this. What makes sure that when the phone rings that we absolutely and always convert that call into a scheduled appointment? How do we make sure that that happens? And I want you all to put it in the chat. Just put it in the chat. Marketing makes the phone ring. Then how do we make sure that that reach results in a scheduled appointment? Put it in the chat. ARC and KRC, love that one, right? Affinity, reality, and communication, knowledge, responsibility, and control. Such a great answer, Dr. Srini. Good training, a kick butt scheduler. Love that, Priya. Awesome. Training and get their name and tell them about your special. It could be Heather, absolutely. Tamara, good to see you, Tamara Kimball. Dr. Dill's office in the house. ARC, fantastic. Tani, genuinely caring for the patient. Same day appointments. Love both of those. From iPhone, trained staff. Yep. From Molika. See, yeah, I think that's right. Malika. Yep. Fully trained staff, 100%. Drilling to convert calls from Brandy. So true. Hey, here's a good one. Christina Brody, trained staff. Somebody getting the idea here? There's a repeating theme here. A great scheduler and training from Samantha. Spot on. Hey, Dr. John Selden. Connecting with the person, which is again A, R, and C, connecting with the person. So spot on. DDS success training from Juan, 100%. There's lots of scenarios there that ties that in. From Heather, it's always ARC, so true. And from Liliana Bernardini, ARC, get the patient scheduled within 2 days. Love that. From Sandra, Dr. Estrada, hey, building rapport with the caller, so true. And then from Keith, fully trained staff, show that you care for the patient and handling the phone call with confidence. All right, wow. You guys, winner, chicken dinner, every single one of you. I mean, that is all spot on. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes easier said than done. Raise your hand if you feel that's true. Sometimes easier said than done. All right. Well, a lot of you are spending and you're spending on marketing. And that's the best step. You know, a lot of our clients come to MGE and they say, yeah, do you really think I need a website? I get that question. Do you really think I need a website in 2023? Do you really think that whole Google thing is a thing? 2023, we get that. And then there's this whole, transformation from these clients to where they now think that they should do some marketing. Now they want to go more for a fee-for-service office. They want to be less dependent upon insurances. Raise your hand if you want to be less dependent upon insurance-based patients. Yeah. So in order to do that, you must have a fee-for-service profile online. What the heck is Dan Brown talking about? A fee-for-service profile. You guys going to tell me what you think that means? Put it in the chat. What's a fee-for-service profile? If I go searching dentist near me, who can place dental implants near me? Invisalign dentist near me. What's a fee-for-service profile? Put it in the chat. Good. I have quality website. Keep it going. What do you think a fee-for-service online profile means? Think about that. Think about it. Type it down, because boy, you were all chatty on the first question. What makes, phone calls converted into scheduled appointments? All right. So I have great reviews. Boom. Yeah, absolutely. Brandy Dickard. Great reviews. Good. From Christina, marketing. Sure. A little bit broad, but 100%. No clue, like a Google My Business profile. Yep. That's definitely part of it. Sponsored ads. Certainly. Superior customer service and stellar work. You're on the right spot, Samantha, but we're not yet there. The person's not willing to pick up the phone yet. They're snooping you. They're not picking up the phone to call you yet. So great customer service isn't going to qualify yet because they're not going to pick up the phone to talk to you. I've got financing. Well, financing options. That's great if I'm looking for a new dentist. But financing, and you're talking about things that I've already kind of, I'm acquainted with you and I want to go forward with the treatment. Now I want to talk about financing. We're not there yet. We are not there yet. Let's see what else we got. Quality advertising. Sure. 100%. Caring team. Yeah. Great reviews on Google. Sure. Reviews, photos of work, patient testimonials. Christina. So good. That's right. Relevant reviews. Look at what Tracy said. Relevant reviews and replies. Tracy, she's been listening. Easy website that's inviting. Spot on. Hey, Chad says social proof. That's right. Some of you may not know what social proof is. Some of you may not know what social proof is. We're going to talk about that. Easy to read and get in touch with your office, and they get to know about you. That's right. Virtually. A smile gallery before and after, says Sydney Smith. Spot on. And online presence. Adriana. That's right. A little bit broad again, but that's right. Advertising our services with the listed fees. Not going to list the fees, but advertising your services. Sure. Word of mouth. Care to share. High reviews linked to great marketing. Spot on, Liliana Bernardini, and they are doing it. Your husband, Dr. Bernardini, told me about your guys' success, and we're glad to be part of your marketing team. So happy to hear that. Good job. Before and after smile gallery. That's right, Juan. Spot on. Reviews and referrals. So all of you, have the basic idea. We got to market. But we're gonna file in here a little bit specifically. I am a patient. I have just decided to look for a dentist near me, Invisalign dentist near me, cosmetic dentist near me. I want dental implants, etc. What's my next step? And you just put yourself in that. I want you all to take off your dental professional hat right now and set it to the side. And I want you to reach onto the desk in front of you and put on your consumer hat. Because you are all consumers, all of you. Raise your hand if you're a consumer. You buy stuff on Amazon, you go to the store, right? We're all consumers. Stop thinking like a dental professional. Just time out on that for a couple minutes. Think like a consumer. When you go to look for that new washing machine or TV or barbecue or whatever, what are you looking for when you first type that in? Well, you are. How many of you are going to look at the reviews and maybe even read through the reviews? Yeah, if you could see what I see, everybody's raising their hands. Yep. Yeah, so lots of reviews. Now, what if you see one provider, they've got 550 reviews at 4.8 stars, and you got another provider that's 24 reviews at 5 stars. We're going to call the first one A. They've got 550 reviews, 4.8 stars, and then provider B, they've got 25 reviews, but 5 stars. Put it in the chat. Which one are you going with? A or B? Put it in the chat. A, 550, 4.8, lower score. provider B, 50, but 5 stars, or 25, 5 stars. Look at this. Look in the chat. Look in the chat. Not a person. Well, there might be a B. I'm scrolling. Everybody's A. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to summarize the survey of that chat. Ready? That's it. You all want lots of reviews. Great. So does every other consumer. You better have a bunch of them. So if I'm searching for a dental implant provider near me, or Invisalign provider near me, or dentist near me, and you got 125 reviews, and your next door neighbors or somebody in the competitive zone, right? They would be kind of competitively as an offering available to your target public, and they have twice as many or 3 times as many. Well, first of all, if that's you, raise your hand. If that's you, you got some work to do on your reviews, raise your hand. You got some work to do on your reviews, raise your hand. And that's okay. We're all here to do it. I mean, Chad, you just raise your hands. What are you talking about? You guys got like 1,000 reviews. What are you talking about, Chad? We're not done until we're done. What, 5,000? How many of you guys got, Chad?
I think we have like 1,250.
Yeah, you're really slumming it, dude. Pick it up here, all right? Get the lead out. Let's go. All right. But hey, no, I get it. You are in a super competitive area, aren't you? Super competitive. And have you searched in your area? Does anybody have more than you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. What's that number? What's that number?
About 2,000, I think.
Yeah, they're over 2,000. 2,000?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the heck you're doing here in this webinar. You should be out pounding the reception for reviews right now. So no, I'm just kidding. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, that is correct. That is correct. You want to be the most reviewed practice in your area. Have we achieved it on our clients? Tamara, are you in the house? Tamara? There she is. Hey, superstar, turn on that microphone.
Sorry, I have a new computer, so it's just taking me a moment to get used to it.
All right. Well, congratulations on your new computer.
Oh, yeah. Well, technically it belongs to Dr. Dill.
Okay.
And then I took it from him.
All right. That's too much information. All right. But thanks. Hey, listen, you and I have done a lot of work together. Dr.
Yeah.
Dill, when he first came on board with MGE, had 35 reviews. What are you guys sitting at for Google right now?
Right now we are a little over 1,800. So we're close to 2,000 reviews.
A little over 1,800. Can everybody give her a big hand, and that whole team, Dr. Mark Dill's team, a big hand? Yeah. Knocking it out of the park. Now, Tamara, I want you to tell me how often you hear of your patients coming in referring to not only the number of reviews you have, but the content of your reviews. Would you mind commenting on that?
Yes. So our new patient coordinator here recently, she's been telling me like this new patient came in because of a review. Like we have had numerous patients come in just over our reviews.
Yeah.
Our reviews have sold new patients on our practice.
Yeah. Raise your hand, folks, if that applies to you to some degree or another. Raise your hand if that applies to you some degree or another. Yeah. So important, pretty easy. You got to get the routine in. If any of you Blumberg Digital clients are like struggling with it, or you slow down a little bit, sometimes we slow down. We take our finger off the pulse of things. We take our foot off the accelerator. For those of you that feel that, hey, maybe I slowed down and I need to pick it up a little bit, raise your hands. Like you could do a little bit more work on it. You could be a little bit more, proactive on it. Okay, good. Now, for all of you who just raise your hands, lean towards the camera a little bit. I'm just going to show you the first step. Lean towards the camera. Lean a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Okay. All right. So that's a first step. Listen, it's that important. I slap your face. Not really. But here's the thing. It's so easy. You do all this work. It's amazing. You get the patients in, you offer quality care, you take amazing care to make them comfortable, not just with the practice, not just with the treatment, but just as a member of your patient community. You change their perspective on dentistry. Oh my gosh. And then they get the treatment, and your clinical team, your doctor, hygienist, assistants, etc., they take that person through and deliver the most gentle, amazing dental experience the person ever had. Raise your hand if that's your office, if that's what you do routinely. Raise your hand. Right. So now you've just totally flipped the switch on them going, nope, don't like a dentist, to, yeah, I actually dig my dentist. I like my dentist. You know, I feel weird saying it. I like to go to the dentist. All right. You have just turned somebody into that person, but you didn't go the extra little inch. Just look at how much space is between my fingers. Just that much. Do you see that much? That much. You need to go that much further and just ask for a review. That's it. That's it. And if you don't know how to do it and you need help doing it, reach out to us. We're going to take you through the drill again. It's so simple. Put a game in place. So Chad, 2,100 is your goal, right? If you got 2,000 around, you got to get 2,100 or 2,200 reviews. We're going to put some waypoints in between that, because going from 1,000, whatever you're at, to 2,000, that's quite a feat. But we're going to put, you know, like 200 review increments in between that. You're going to play a game to get to the next 200 level. And when you do that game, you're going to do fun party, or you're going to do some accomplishment or whatever. Okay. And then when you do hit the most highest reviewed practice in your area, then you guys at Dr. Witt's office are going to go nuts, like we're going to Disney World, or because you're in Florida, that might not be a big deal. You're going somewhere else outside of Florida where it's not so hot, right? So put that game in place, make it a fun game, but it's so important. Thumbs up if you guys are tracking so far. Okay, so reviews, that's part of social proof. Reviews, so very, very important. So now let's talk about the next step here. Let's talk about the next step. You got your reviews, great. Now you have gotten the patient to what I'm going to kind of call first base. All right, the person goes, oh, I kind of like this place. They check out your Google Business Directory, the photos, etc. Let me go ahead. Hey, Tamara, are you cool if I use your profile? Okay, good. I just want you to get this picture here. I look for dentists near me, and this is what I see. Okay, so I see this. I see 1,884 reviews. I just want you all to see something. I'm going to click on the reviews, and I'm going to sort right here by newest. I can sort by most relevant. That's a Google, you know, algorithm. Newest, highest, or lowest. Some people say, well, they don't have any negative reviews because they're 5 stars. Watch this, lowest. Plenty of negative reviews. They answer every one of them just as per our, you know, policy on that. But they have so many, it zeroes out their negatives. Good. If I sort by newest, 2 days ago, 6 days ago, a week ago, a week ago, a week ago, and they're answering every one of them, which you must do. A week ago, 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 a week ago. Oh my gosh, a week ago. This is like 25 in this last week alone. Okay, I'm probably up to 30 now. All right, when is it going to get to 2 weeks ago? Please, I can't keep saying a week ago. All right, well, still, 2 weeks ago, yes. All right, you get the idea. That's how many they add a week. How many would you say, Tamara, in a week? How many adding a week?
Well, a lot of those reviews that you just went over, we were playing a game. I know we received close to 60 reviews there. Typically, our goal is 30 a month. So if we can hit 30 a month, we're right on target.
Gotcha. And what was the game that you were playing, if I can ask?
So the game, so they get money added to their check. So for every review, it's like $10, $20. And we've also done like shopping sprees. So it's whatever game that the girls are interested in doing for that month. If we can reach 2,000, that would be awesome too.
Love it.
So we could play a game to get those 100 reviews in.
Love it in every way. Great. Good. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you. So that's first base. We got the, you know, we got a visibility of the reviews. Then I click here and I can see some real practice culture photos. And I can see how things are, you know, they're real serious there, you know, and it's just awesome. You know, but I really get the idea that this is a fun office, that they're fun there. They're, you know, they're family oriented. They appreciate their team members, employee of the month. You know, they have good fun with kids, and there's Halloween, pretty spirited, So there's Dr. Dill. And you just get this idea of who they are. And so that's kind of second base. I'm like, okay, good. Now I'm getting there. I'm getting a feel of who these people are. Fantastic. That's just one element. Here's the other element. Now I want to go see some before and afters, and I want to see some testimonials. And that component is kind of now where I'm seeing real patients who've been to the practice, the results of those patients. And yeah, this is now making sense. I can actually get a good picture of what it would be like if I need veneers, if I need implants, if I need a full smile, makeover, full mouth rehabilitation, whatever. Thumbs up if you're understanding that. First, second, and third base. Yeah, good. Now I pick up the phone and I'm going to call. What's going to happen? And let's think like this. I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call, and there could be a couple different scenarios. I'm shopping around. Maybe I went to another practice. Maybe I went to, I don't know, Clear Choice, a big corporate, or Nuvia, and it was kind of like an implant, factory, right? And so it wasn't very personalized service. I was just kind of a, one of many that kind of went through this machine, and I didn't feel like it was very personal and whatever. Now, or I got scared away by the price, whatever. Now I pick up the phone and I talk to you, and I could be shopping. Now, we often tell our clients, shoppers, hey, if they're shopping, let me ask you as a consumer, take your dental professional hat off for a second. Let me ask you as a consumer, how many of you have been looking at something and then you shopped around to make sure you were getting a good deal? Raise your hand if you've been shopping or if you've ever shopped. Right. So there's nothing wrong with shoppers. Shoppers happen. And the good thing about it is it means I'm looking. I'm serious. Doesn't mean every shopper is great to deal with. And I get that. If somebody's rude and stuff, okay, fantastic. Just let them go to wherever they're going to end up. But got to make sure that we handle that phone call. And we've got to make sure that that phone call does everything you all said. It connects with me. ARC. It gets me talking about the one thing I'm going to talk about all day long. Put it in the chat. What's the one thing that just about everybody will talk to you all day long about? The one thing. There's one thing that just about everybody will talk to you all day long about. What is that? Put it in the chat. Yep. Tamara, you got it. She got it right. Yep, Mallory. Yeah, themselves. It's one thing people are going to talk. Yeah, that's right, Maria. Dr. Simon. That's the one thing that people will talk about all day long is themselves, and specifically their problems. They're going to talk about their problems. They're calling you because they have a problem. I'm just calling to find out how much it costs for a crown in your office. Sure, love to help you with that. Can I get your name? Fantastic. And hey, Fred, can I get the best number to call you back just in case this call drops? Everybody listen to the question I just asked. The first question I asked was what? Put it in the chat. What was the first question I asked? Hi, can I find out how much it costs for a crown in your office? Absolutely. Right. Good. Name. Sure thing. I'd love to help you with that question. What's your name? Fantastic, Fred. Great. Hey, Fred, just in case this call drops, what's the best time to call you right back? You asked that question exactly like that. Hey, just in case this call drops, what's the best time to call you right back? 9 out of 10 people are going to give you the answer to that question. They're going to give you the number, and they're going to give you their cell phone number. Okay. The 10th person says, I don't really feel comfortable with that. Don't make it weird. Get on with it. Okay. Third question. Hey, and Fred, last question before we get on to answering yours. Can I ask how you found out about our practice? Oh, yeah, sure. I Googled you. Great. Remember what you searched? It just helps us. Best dentist in zip code. Fantastic. Awesome. Thanks. All right, let's get on to your question. Hey, Fred, how do you know you need a crown? Oh, yeah, well, I bet down on something and something cracked. And, my friend told me, oh, yeah, last time I bet down on, a nut like that, it cracked my tooth and you're going to need a crown. Oh, okay. So did you go to another dental provider and check that out first, or are we the first to call? Oh, no, you're the first. Okay, good. Well, hey, Fred, good news is cheapest crown there is a crown you don't need. Now, I'm not saying you don't need one, but let's have the doctor take a look. And good thing we do here is we'll do a free exam on that. Okay, you just come in, there's no obligation. And listen, that's now over to you guys on your office policy, whatever you do. Or we do a new patient special, exam, x-rays, and whatever. But so we could do that, and let's have a look at it, see if that's in fact what you need or not. How's that sound? Great. At that point in time, I have just connected with it, but maybe he's not ready to do that. He said, well, yeah, maybe you could just give me a number. I'm pretty sure I need to crown. In fact, I did go to another dentist. I didn't want to say that because I'm a little bit embarrassed. It's my family dentist. I've been there for years, but he told me how much it costs. It just scared me heavily. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Listen, let me see what I could do. What tooth are we talking about? Is it on the left side or the right side? Oh, it's on the right side. Okay. Is it towards the front? Towards the back? Oh, it's all the way at the back. Gotcha. Okay. And is it on the top or is it on the bottom, Fred? Oh, it's on the bottom. Okay. Okay, Fred, any sensation like when you have something hot or cold? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cold. Not hot then. Okay. How about when you bite down? Is there any sensation when you bite down on something hard or you're clenching your teeth? A little bit. Okay. And Fred, has the pain kept you up at night yet? No. Will it? Well, it's been known to happen. I'm just asking the question. Okay, good. So Fred, listen, I can't tell you what that's going to cost because there's obviously something going on in that tooth, and I don't think the dentist who you went to was making things up. But one thing we do here at ABC Family Dental is we do a free second opinion, and here's what this means. And there's two things about this. First of all, no cost to you, no obligation. You come in, you don't even need to bring your X-rays from the other practice. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to tell you what we would think, whether it does in fact need a crown or are there other options. And second of all, no obligation. So if you want to take our price and our treatment plan, you could go shop it. No problem with that. We just want to make sure you get the care you need. Okay. But here's the thing I want to tell you about that. Even if you were to schedule for a crown, there is a chance between now and the time that you schedule to get it fixed, say you needed one, that you could bite down on something and split that tooth right down the middle. We don't want that to happen. So two things on that. One, we're going to try and get you in right away just to get that exam done. Okay. And between now and the time you come in, I want you to chew soft foods. Can you do that for me, Fred? Between now and the time you come in, can you do that? Can I get your agreement on that? What do you think Fred's going to say? Show me with your thumbs. What's Fred probably going to say? Yeah, he's going to agree to that. Good. Great, Fred. And then listen, I know it's, I hate chewing soft foods and worrying about what you're chewing on the other side of your mouth and all that stuff. So I'm going to try and get you in pretty quick. I got availability today at 2:30. I got another time I could squeeze you in at 4. And I got tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Which of those 3 times works best for you? Well, I could probably make the 4 o'clock today. Good. Let's put it down. Let's get you scheduled. How many of you would hire me as your receptionist? Raise your hand. You'd hire me as your receptionist. Okay, good. Hold on. I'm just taking notes just in case I ever need a job. Okay, good. All right. Thank you for that. All right, good. Next point. We get that person in, all the confirmation. Yeah, hired. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, Star. Thanks, Liliana. All right, so listen, I'm telling you, that's a generic hand. But what did I do? I got the person talking to me. Left side, right side, does it matter? Top or bottom, does it matter? Anybody, does it matter? Which tooth it is or where it is, does it matter? No, we're all going to be able to deal with it. We're doing this to establish ARC, as many of you said, ARC, affinity, reality, and communication. By you getting reality from me, you're getting my reality. I think it hurts. I don't think it hurts. It's not hurting. Why should I come in? Well, that's a great question. It's not hurting. Why should you bother to deal with it? Well, I'll tell you this. The second it starts hurting, it's down at a very deep level. And if we wait until it hurts, that often means that it's going to be more invasive and more expensive. And it sounds like you're trying to avoid both of those things. You don't like dental work like everybody else on planet Earth, and you don't like paying for dental work. So let's get this while it's not a situation. If we can, no guarantees. We're going to have the professional look at it. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a receptionist, or I'm just a new patient coordinator. But let's get it while it's early. You're getting the person's reality, and you're changing their reality without making them feel wrong, while you're increasing their affinity to you because they like you, they're getting along with you, all through communication about one thing they'll talk to you all day long about: themselves and their problems. Thumbs up if you're tracking. Thumbs up if you're tracking. Excellent. Now, couple things before I get to the good stuff, because you guys came to the right webinar, and I'm not kidding you that I'm going to show you a scenario that's going to blow your mind. All right. I'm not kidding when I tell you this. This is a practice I was just at 2 weeks ago. And they called me, 2 days afterwards. They want to give me some good news. They just had one of their highest ever days. Highest ever in sold, treatment plans. Get in mind what you think that number is, a good day in your practice. You sold, you presented a bunch of treatment and it got accepted. Get that in mind. What would, a good number for one day of accepted treatment? Okay, they called me. They said, yeah, we had one of our highest ever days. We sold $95,000 in treatment this day. I didn't stutter right there. $95,000 in one day. Yeah, exactly, Tiny. Wow. Now, how did they do this? Did they luck into something? No. Did the person who walked in just win the lottery? Nope. The team that did it, you might think, well, that doctor must be a superstar. Yeah, and I would say the doctor is. Wasn't done by the doctor. Sure, the doctor was involved in the diagnosis, in the initial treatment plan, like this is the number. And the usual thing happened that always happens when the doctor mentions the number, the person nearly faints, right? Oh my gosh, how much? Totally understood. Well, listen, I can see this hit pretty hard. I'm going to have, and he turns it over to his treatment coordination team. Okay. 2 managers. And I've interviewed them both. You're about to see that. How many doctors in that practice? 2 doctors in that practice. No, actually 2.5 doctors in that practice, to be honest. And they do about $600,000 a month. That's a great question, Dr. Selden. About $600,000 a month. And I say 2.5 doctors to 2 doctors because it's Dr. Richard Salvatore Jr. and Dr. Vera Salvatore. They're MGE clients. But Dr. Salvatore Rich and Dr. Vera Salvatore, they're often not both in the practice. Like Vera just took about 4 months off. Okay. And they have an associate. Okay. So I want you to think with that. I'm about to show it to you. Some of you are going to be able to stick around because you're here till 2:30. Some of you are going to be out of here at 2. That's a shame because I'm about to show you about 30 minutes worth of content that's going to blow your socks off. So I would make some arrangements if you can, just hang around a little bit. But a couple things before we go into it. I would like to know, put it in the chat right now, some of the things you want in the next webinar. What do you want in the next webinar? I'm about to blow you away with the content from this one. And it's not me, it's the team that I'm about to expose. I did a whole interview with them, but put it in the chat right now. What are some of the things that you want to see in the next webinar? The other thing is we're about to do our advanced marketing workshop at MGE. Some of you are coming. Raise your hands if you're coming to the advanced marketing seminar at MGE. Great, fantastic, awesome. Good. I'm going to encourage you to do so, okay? It's a fantastic value. The Blumberg Digital team is going to be here. We're going to show you how to film a testimonial, how to ask the questions, how to set up a testimonial, how to get a patient to agree to a testimonial and before and after photos, how to film it, how to edit it right on your phone right then, how to post your content on social media, how to run your social media channels, how to doctor up your website. We're going to do live stuff. Bring your computer, bring your team, have a blast. It is the Advanced Marketing Seminar, September 28th. I'm going to show you on my screen. Should be able to see my screen. Okay, Advanced Marketing Seminar. We're doing one here at MGE, Florida, August 24, 25, 26. That's Thursday, Friday, and half day Saturday. It's going to be a blast. Then I do it again in California. Now we have limited spots. I think we have 4 spots left in the California office. That's September 28, 29, and 30. So very much suggest you guys make that go right. Thank you for all the feedback. Okay, front team, games, ideas, how to put it in place, best social media to boost and promote, good. How to take it from DDS success and implement it, good. Games to get staff's attention, to office in the morning, good. Got all that. Next point, quick. We have we do this once a year, a special where we do a digital reactivation special. If you are not a digital reactivation client, and you need to fill up your hygiene, or you need to fill up your production schedule with some consults, if your schedule has some sparseness to it, if you've got openings too many and you need more people in your practice right now, we have a digital reactivation service where we wake people up who have not been in your practice for 8 months or more. This special we do once a year, and we have 4 positions left. Look at my fingers, 4 out of 10. We just launched it last week. We have 4 positions left. Reach out to Amy at blumbergdigital.com. Amy, please put that in the chat, your email address. Amy at blumbergdigital.com. Tell her what's going on. You need to fill up your hygiene. You need to fill up production. You've got an empty schedule. She will do an assessment and tell you, yeah, you should do this, or no, actually you should do something else, or here, you should talk to your MGE power client manager or whatever. Amy knows her stuff. She'll set you up, but I'm telling you, this is once a year that we do this. We got 4 positions left. First come, first serve. Okay, last point before I get to the awesome content. For those of you advertising on Facebook, raise your hands, raise your hands, raise your hands. Okay, be aware that Facebook, the company, Meta, has been compromised, a security compromise. Okay, we had a number of our Blumberg Digital clients that were advertising on Facebook. They had charges that were not authorized for Facebook marketing that did not go to their account. This has expanded to many different marketing agencies around the world. You're going to get your money back. It only happened to a few of our clients. Fortunately, for some people, it's their entire agency. It's not an agency specific thing. It's not a marketing company specific thing. It is a Facebook thing. They are resolving it. You will get your money back if you guys are advertising directly yourselves on Facebook. It might be a bit of a process. Contact your bank if you want to, but know that Facebook Meta was compromised and they are handling it. It seems to be under control now. That's a good news. Not good news is it's scary when there are these security breaches. Again, it happened to a few of our clients. We got a ton of clients. I think we were fortunate. We kind of dodged the bullet on that one. Some agencies had the majority of their clients compromised. So be aware of that. And last thing, here's some cool content. Here it is. This is what you've been waiting for. So I have these guys. These guys are Kathleen and Beth from Salvatore Dental. I'm about to put this on. And I said, listen, I'm going to interview you because I want to, first of all, codify what you do so that everybody there forevermore knows how to do what you do. And what came out of their mouth absolutely surprised and shocked me of their competence, their know-how, their ARC, affinity, reality, communication, their tone level, how high tone they are, their competency, their professionalism. And I think you are all going to get a little lesson of, you know, what some people do that are doing really well. I'm not saying you're not awesome. I'm just saying these guys routinely do this and they do great numbers and they help a lot of people. So thumbs up if you're ready to hear it, thumbs sideways if you got a question, thumbs down if you hate being here. So now let's say we've got, good, sorry. All right, let me give you a little preface to this. So they do an implant funnel. Okay, we do a marketing implant funnel with them. What that means is there's a series of advertising things, and then all of a sudden a prospect goes through a questionnaire. They fill out a survey. About 12 or 14 questions later, that person comes out here. They have answered a lot. They probably spent 30 to 40 minutes going through that survey. So it's a hot lead. We call that a survey lead or an implant funnel lead. Thumbs up if you understand what that is. Thumbs sideways, you need a little bit more data. Thumbs down, you're lost. Okay, so they have gone through the implant funnel. Sorry, I just want to give you some context on that one. So now let's say we've got somebody the survey seems relatively complete. There might be a couple questions. I'm Joe Smith. Okay. I've completed the survey. I've given moderate data, and you could invent the scenario as you go through it. I'm going to be the patient. You're going to reach out to me. I have put that my credit score is a 640. It's multiple implants, and I've suffered for quite a long time, and I currently have dentures. And now this is going to be a phone call initially, right? You're going to call me. Okay, good. And then are you going to set up a virtual, or are you going to have me come in?
We've been doing just come in.
Great, good. So let's go ahead and initiate that. You've got the data. Do you need to ask me any other questions about the scenario? Kathleen, you're going to be carrying the phone call.
Okay.
Good.
You said your name was Joe Smith?
Joe Smith. Hello, this is Joe.
Hi, Joe. This is Kathleen calling from Salvatore Dental. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm sorry, you're from where?
Salvatore Dental.
Okay.
I was calling because I know that you have filled out that survey saying that you might be interested in dental implants. So I just wanted to reach out to you and find out more information.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Oh, thank you for calling me. I forgot about that, but yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.
Yeah.
So how long have you been missing your teeth for?
It's been about 7 years. Actually, I lost one about 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And then they did a bridge, and then that bridge broke, and I lost another one. And then, I don't know, it almost seems like I've got something wrong in that area, because then I lost a third tooth. Now I've got dentures. Now fourth one is kind of loose. And that's holding my denture in place. So I just kind of feel like it's getting worse and getting worse.
So you've really been through a lot when it comes to dental work.
I don't think so, because I'm 65 years old. I don't think this is, I've got lots of friends that are in way worse shape, but
Yeah.
I would say this is that I don't enjoy the denture. And I think I've got some stuff that's wrong on the bottom, and I'm getting the idea, like if I ended up in dentures on the top and the bottom, it's not very pleasurable to have dentures in my mouth.
Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. I know that you said that you're having some issues on the bottom too. Are you currently in any pain? Number one, we want to make sure that you're not experiencing any pain.
There is sensitivity. I'm not a big fan of going to the dentist, so
I understand that. Yeah, we hear that every day. Don't worry.
Yeah, I must admit I haven't been to the dentist for a couple of years. I did go, and I told them specifically just adjust my denture. The last time I went in, I didn't want to talk about anything. I didn't want an exam, and I had to kind of convince them into that. They didn't like that, and I understand, but I just wanted my denture adjusted. I did have a little something that was not ideal, that they said they see something. I said, listen, it's not hurting. Well, now it is hurting, and I've got a tooth that's not doing so well there on the bottom. So that kind of drove me. It's a friend of mine said he had gotten implants, and he lives on the other side of the country. I didn't know too much about what that was. I did a little searching about it. There's 18 trillion articles about it.
Yes, there is, for sure.
So anyways, when I saw your little thing on social media, I decided, let me just fill this out.
Well, that's a great step. I know you said that you haven't been to the dentist in a while. So to take the step to reach out, that's huge. So great job on that.
Yeah.
What I can do is, I know that you're looking for information, and I want to make sure that you get the information that you're looking for and that you need. So why don't we do this? Why don't we get you scheduled for a free consult with Dr. Rich? We'll have you come in. We'll take a CT scan. He'll sit down and go over everything with you. So that way you can get all of your questions answered, and you can have, a good idea moving forward.
Okay. Well, and I'm cool with that. I just want to say this. My friend in California, he said he ended up spending close to $60,000 on his mouth. I'm not looking to. I don't have $60,000. I'm not looking to spend that money. I could be gone in 2 weeks from now. And I could be around for a while. But I want to be very transparent that I am not in a position like my friend in California financially. And I just don't feel, I don't want to lead you down a road. And when I saw, I did fill out the, my credit
Yeah.
score.
I did see that, yeah.
And, but I was even hesitant to do so because I just kind of feel like, I don't know that that's necessarily your business at this point in time. Please don't take offense to that, but I did complete it, but I just want to be very clear where I'm at.
Yeah, I completely understand that. And I respect where you're coming from. The reason that we do ask that is because we do have a number of different financing companies that would be able to hopefully help you break it up into monthly payments that are more manageable for you. So that's why we do ask that. So that way we have an idea, that way when you come in, we can see what we can do to help you.
Okay, but I'm just saying here, I am not committing to this by any means, right?
No problem at all. I totally understand.
Yeah.
All I'm asking you to kind of commit to right now is just coming in for a free consult to meet with Dr. Rich to see how we can help you get out of pain.
Okay, and there's no obligation.
No, not at all. No obligation, and the CT scan is free. Dr. Rich is going to go over everything with you, and we'll go from there.
Okay, and you said a city scan? What's a city scan?
So it's a CT scan. Sorry, that's a big word, I know. So what it is it's basically just an X-ray that spins all the way around your head, and it creates this 3D model. So Dr. Rich can see your bone levels, everything that's going on, and see where that pain's coming from, which is number one.
Okay. Yeah, because very, very, very minimally, I think I should get this lower left side looked at. There's something going on there. And if I decide not to go forward with the implants because of the cost or whatever, you guys could give me an estimate or whatever it is you do of what it would cost to get this thing looked at and fixed.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
We'll look at the full amount when you come in. Great.
Okay, good. Well, that sounds good. I guess I would, will I be, anesthetized, or can I drive home from the appointment?
Yeah, so this is just an initial consult. So what you'll do is you'll come in. It's not going to be anything invasive. We'll just talk after we take that X-ray. So you'll be able to drive yourself. If you do have someone else that you make decisions with, then I would definitely bring them with you to the appointment.
Well, anything that I do that's of significance, I always involve my wife. We've been married for years and years and years. She's actually the one that's told me to, get moving on this and don't wait.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I need her for a dental appointment, just to talk. But do you think she should be there?
Yeah, I would definitely have her come in with you, because especially when you have a doctor start talking to you about different things, it's always good to have a second set of ears there. So that way you guys can make a decision together if anything comes up.
Okay. Yeah. And actually, sometimes I forget certain things that she remembers. So that
my husband does the same thing.
Yeah.
So I completely understand.
Okay. So if it's going to be both of us, it's going to have to be it's probably going to have to be a Thursday, because she volunteers down at the shelter and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
that's amazing. Yeah. So I actually have this Thursday open. I have a 9 a.m. Does that work for you guys?
move it a little bit fast for me. I'd need to talk to her. I could talk to her and see, but I'd probably feel better about next Thursday.
Next Thursday? Why don't we do this? Why don't I put you in for this Thursday, and I'll put a block in for next Thursday. You talk to her and then call me right back.
Okay, so you're just penciling it. You're not inking it in right now, right? You're just penciling it in. Meaning
What we'll do is we'll ink it
this Thursday, so it's tentative, right? Like I got to talk to her and then I'll call you back.
Yep, you call me back, but either way, I'll put you in for next Thursday as well, and we'll make sure that you come in.
Okay, good. I guess, do I call you back today, or you call me back after I talk?
I'll call you back before 4 o'clock.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll have spoken to her by that time.
Okay, perfect.
Great. And I'm sorry, what's your name?
My name's Kathleen.
Okay, I'm just going to write that down. And what's your company name?
Salvatore Dental.
Okay, and where are you guys located?
We're at 127 Dunning Street in Malta, New York. But what I can do is, why don't I text you our address and all of the information that we talked about?
That'd be good. Yeah, because I don't know exactly where that is, but it can't be that. It's Malta. It's, within like 25 minutes.
Yeah, not too far.
Okay.
Excellent.
Great. Thank you for calling.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you then.
Good. All right. Okay. How did they do? How did she do? Thumbs. Show me thumbs. Yes. And look at Kathleen. Kathleen is on the webinar. Kathleen, open up your microphone, please.
Hello.
Hey, you. So first of all, everybody, this is Kathleen. Kathleen, say hello to everybody.
Hi.
So here is, sorry to put you on the spot and embarrass the hell out of you, but you know,
You're fine.
yeah, no, you did fantastic. And the scenario
Thank you.
that you do next, and both you and Beth are just rock
Oh, yeah.
stars, superstars. I just want to bring to light some elements I saw, but I want everybody here to put in the chat, what are some of the key elements that you saw that you got something out of in this? Put it in the chat right now. What were some of the things you went, oh, look at that. So go ahead and put that in there. Going to just give you a second because I really want you all to isolate. That's interesting. She did this. I'm going to bring up something. First thing, obviously, it's an implant lead, right? It's an implant lead. So she's reaching out. It's not just a cold call that she's answering. She immediately said hello and established ARC, and then immediately asked a question. What are you running into? And got him talking about himself and his problems. Good. I'm going to put this in here. Okay, good. So great control, great communication and control. Right. Good. Somebody says perfect. Fantastic. She acknowledges all of his questions. Yes, her communication is flawless. Person says something, she always acknowledges before she goes on to the next thing. Beautiful. The way she words things feels like it's always best for the patient, which it is. Spot on, spot on. All right, plenty of time to build a relationship. Yes, that was an 11-minute conversation. You've got to have the time where you are undistracted. Beautiful. Complete and utter caring, all capitals. Yes, first and foremost, someone who want to take care of you. Yeah, that's right. This is somebody I would want to be in charge of and overseeing my care. Correct. Kept the patient engaged. Yes, spot on. Explain what the consultation will be like. Congratulating the patient for taking that first step and filling out the survey. Right. Gave 2 tentative appointments, said we'll call him back. Right. So he said, no, listen, you're moving a bit fast here. Moving a bit fast. Let's do next Thursday. She said, absolutely. Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to put you in for this Thursday, and I will also reserve a block for next Thursday. You can check with your wife and call me back and see if this Thursday is workable or not. And if not, we'll use the next Thursday. Control, absolute, brilliant. And it wasn't weird. She didn't make it weird. She never went into like a fight or a disagreement. She always with reality. Beautiful. Confidence handling the call. Excellent listening. Correct. I liked how she scheduled sooner and held an appointment for another time as well. Yep. I liked how she listened and acknowledged him. Yep. Beautiful. Second set of ears was a great comeback to the wife comment. Yeah. Spot on, Kimmy. Yeah, it's a great idea, and why would I need to bring my wife to a dental appointment consultation thingy? Yeah, it's always just good to have a second set of ears sometimes, second set of ears, remember something? Beautiful. She made sure to ask for his needs and built rapport with him and let him talk about himself, acknowledging him. Yep, Tracy, spot on. Communication sounded happy with a smile, and she was smiling the whole time, despite it being a phone call. The whole time. Yeah, how important is that? Everybody show me your thumbs. How important is it that you're smiling during a phone call? You got it. You must. Absolutely. Communication sounded happy with a smile. Nicely convincing to come into the office. Yep. Megan or Magna. Yep. Beautiful. I think she needs to move to Maryland, Dr. Srini. Less crowded than New York. Yeah, she's up there with Beth. They are well taken care of and we got plans, but love that. She was knowledgeable and patient, and she let the patient talk first. Yeah, beautiful. Not pushy, asked the correct questions with the right, let's see. Okay, lost it there. Not pushy, asked the correct questions with the right tone. Right, beautiful. You could hear her smile through the phone. Yep, loved how she acknowledged bringing his wife, but saying it's due to, but not saying it's due to financial. Right, let him know that it's a second set of ears. Right, the way she explained why we asked for patient social number. Yep, always say to my girls, how you answer the phone is key. Correct, make a huge difference. Great. You guys got it. Everybody, let's give a big hand again for Beth and Kathleen. You should hear Beth. Beth is just like a mirror image of Kathleen. Good job. All right. So yes, engaging, good control. Any other comments you want to make, Kathleen? Any other points you want to take up or help others with? Or have I said it all and slobbered all over you?
Yeah, I think you covered it all. I mean, the biggest thing to remember is that you just want to be there and help them and listen to them. They don't want someone talking at them. They want someone to help them. One of the biggest things we always do is, especially people that haven't been in for a while, is just acknowledge them for taking that step. It takes a lot for people to be willing to call us, to even fill out the form. I mean, talking about like confronting for them, that's a big thing to confront. It's one thing to confront it on a computer screen and fill out the form, but then to answer the phone call and to give us your information, show up in office, it should be acknowledged. And that's a huge way to start to build a relationship.
Beautiful. And so true. Thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Good. So we're going to go into the next scenario. So Kathleen, you know, I've chiseled up our interview, and obviously this is going to be part of your implant funnel folder hat, right? For you and Beth. So again, part of their implant funnel, they've done this implant funnel, and we're working with them on how to, you know, take a survey and convert it. But then there's a couple other scenarios we took up. How many of you would like to see another scenario? Raise your hands. Good. How many of you are finding this is valuable? Raise your hands. Good. And how many of you would like more of this? Actual people who are showing how they've successfully done it, rather than listening to, you know, Dan's ugly mug talk to you all day long. All right. Good. You shouldn't have raised your hands for that. That was wrong for you. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So I've got the next scenario for you. Now, before I do, does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? I've got one. I've got from Dr. Usmani's office. Light up that microphone and ask your question.
Can you hear me?
I can, clearly.
Okay, I'm sorry if this is not okay to ask, but my biggest problem I'm running into right now is that if they're not a good candidate for the consult, like for the free consult that we're doing, how do I handle that on the phone of trying to then skew them to an exam, but it's not going to be free? Because I think my biggest problem right now is having a lot of leads come in through the system, but I'm not always picking the right people, they're not all getting treatment. And I just think I'm not filtering them out as best as I could be.
Good. Great question. I'm going to cover that broadly because, you know, what we can do is specifically look into things, and, you know, I can see exactly more what's going on. But here's kind of the thing, at least on an implant funnel, you have the survey. Sometimes they tell the truth and sometimes they don't, right?
Yeah.
Credit score, my credit score is 980, doesn't exist, right? Or they say the credit score is 710 or 680, and it turns out it's 480, right? And so that can happen. But by and large, somebody gets that far, there are certain red flags that kick up. And one of them, of course, is the credit score. Say they left that blank, because some people do. And you call them up and you find out that you're there. So this is one thing that, you know, we would want to consider. If you're running into that a lot, we do the first consult, complimentary consult, as a virtual consult. Okay. So what you're going to do, and again, don't do this until I have a little bit. Right? So we'll do a review, but I'm going to tell everybody here, if you're running into unqualified people coming into the practice, they spend 2 hours with your team and they are unqualified, and you've just wasted doctor time. You've just wasted your time.
Treatment coordinator.
You've occupied, new patient coordinator time, and you've occupied a chair that could have been or should have been a patient who really wants help and is qualified to get help. Then we're going to probably move into what's called a virtual treatment coordination, where consult, where you're going to use a HIPAA compliant software such as Doxy.me. I'm going to put it in the page here. Everybody here can know this stuff. Doxy.me is one of them. Zoom, I've just put it in the chat. Zoom even has a HIPAA compliant version of it. Both Doxy.me and Zoom HIPAA compliant version, $25 a month. How many of you think you could afford $25 a month for that subscription? Yep. So instead of this new patient consult taking an hour or 2 hours of your time, you do a pre-screening and you set up a time, and the doctor is standing by. Could do a 10-minute, and you're going to have the person. Everybody look at my screen. And they're going to do that. And you say, okay, good. Now listen, a scan is going to tell us how much bone is there or not. But what I'm looking at here, I can see that we're probably at least in the area of $12,000 to $15,000 worth of dentistry. This is after you've gotten all the data about how things are. You know, you've established good communication. How's this affecting their life? where are things going wrong? How long has it been that way? And you're in really good ARC. We're not talking numbers until we're really there.
Yeah.
Good. Now we're going to say, so $15,000, you know, I don't have $15,000 laying around. I know very few people who do. And I know very few people who even have $15,000 to put on a credit card. I don't have an Amex Black, you know. So curious, would you need finance help with this? Yes or no? Or do you have some money put aside or some idea? Oh, no, I definitely need finance help. Okay, good. Well, we have lots of different options of how that can roll. And I'm about to share with you guys the next scenario to show how Kathleen and Beth roll through that and get that established. But you're doing that. And in that, you're going to say, okay, then what sort of, you know, credit score do you think you have? Okay, good. Well, I'm going to send you a link and we're going to do what's called a soft pull. It's not a hard pull on your credit. It's a soft pull, but it's just going to give us an idea of where we're at. You get it back and it's, you know, it's a 410. Then you're going to say, okay, good. At this point in time, we're going to probably have to find another solution because we don't have any third-party financing solutions for you. So what do you think you could do on that? And now you start putting it over on their lap. Do you want to talk to your, a relative who supports you in this? Who would you go to if you had an emergency that you needed that kind of money? Oh, well, you know, I'd go to my uncle. He's loaded and he loves me and I work for him. Okay, you want to have a conversation with him and go over what we went over? That'd be great. And then you want to, you know, I'll phone you back and what Friday? This is Tuesday, Wednesday or whatever. You want me to phone you back Friday? Is that giving you enough time? That's what I would be doing. Now, the doctor who did have a chance to look in and do this virtual treatment consult spent 10 minutes doing so. Does that make sense?
So much sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll talk more on that. But
Yeah.
thumbs, guys, show me. Does that make sense? You have questions? You're totally lost. Okay, great. Any other questions? Any other questions? And if you have one, I don't see you because either I have too many video boxes on my screen or I don't see it. The virtual treatment consult is with the doctor or treatment coordinator. Could be either. And if it's a treatment coordinator, that's a great question, Dr. Patel. Great question. This could be either. In the case that it's a virtual treatment coordinator, you must state, I am not, you know, a licensed practitioner. I'm a treatment coordinator, but I do ask a series of questions to prepare for the doctor. Okay, so I'm going to go through this with you. And you could do a very similar thing where the person could describe things and they could even show their teeth. You're not diagnosing because you wouldn't diagnose. Even if you're a doctor, you would not diagnose over a Zoom or a doxy.me call. Do you all understand that? Thumbs up, you understand that? Even if you're a doctor, you're not diagnosing over a video call, okay? Because you don't have a scan, you don't know what bone is there or whatever. So virtual treatment coordination can be done without a doctor as well. And it's a great option. Great. Any other questions? Love the suggestion that you made for virtual consult. And I do not want to bring a patient in who ends up wasting our time. Yep. It saves so much time and you could do it on a lot of things, including a Invisalign special that you do. Hey, Amr, thank you for coming. I know some of you have to drop off. Raise your hand if you guys can stay around for the full to 1:30 because I've got this next scenario. Okay. For those that can't, I want you to email me. And I'm going to put my email in the chat, danb@mgeonline.com. And we will get you the recording. Okay. And you can even put in the chat, please send me the recording. So the recording will be online, but I'm going to get into the next scenario here, which is just so dang cool. So here we go. So would you say that's kind of a standard usual?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay, good. What are some of the curveballs you get thrown on that initial call? Not that that's the usual, but what are some of the curveballs that you get thrown and how do you deal with those curveballs?
I think the biggest one is I don't have the money, or like they already think they know how much it's going to cost.
Good. So what I want you to do, Beth, is I want you to give that scenario to Kathleen, and Kathleen, I want you to handle it. And just show me, Beth, I want you to just say, be that person. And you can be a little bit, you can be a little bit prickly right now. Does that make sense? So, not nasty, but prickly. Okay? So let's take that scenario all the way up to, where does that generally come out, Beth? Does that generally come out at the appointment when you're trying to schedule the appointment?
I feel like it ranges, but like it's usually in the beginning, like when I say, like, if they say they are already looking for implants, and then I always ask them, like, how do you know you need implants? Have you spoken to someone? Have you been somewhere else?
Good.
And then most of the time it's like, oh, well, I'm missing a couple of teeth. I've seen online implants and I know online they're expensive.
Good. I want you to roll the scenario, Kathleen, from the very beginning of the phone call. Beth, you just go along. You guys just play with the data as you go along, okay?
Mhm.
Ring, ring.
Wait, you're
I'm calling you.
hello, this is Beth.
Hi, Beth. This is Kathleen calling from Salvatore Dental. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to reach out to you because I saw that you had filled out a survey online in regards to dental implants.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm missing a couple teeth.
Okay.
And you know, I went somewhere and they told me I could get like a bridge or a partial, but you know, I'm really looking for something permanent.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm glad that you already have talked to someone, so you kind of know what you need. How long have you been missing those teeth for?
For maybe like 5 years now.
Okay. No problem. So I know that you said that you've already looked some other places. So what were their suggestions?
Well, I mean, they told me if I wanted a partial, you know, it'd be like, you know, a couple $100 for my partial. And then, you know, they kind of gave me this bridge option. And, you know, I was looking about, you know, a couple thousand.
Mhm.
And then, you know, I was kind of looking at the implant options. I checked online and, you know, they're way more than a bridge.
Yeah. Implants are a little bit more costly than a bridge, but the good news is we do have a lot of different financing options. So if that was something you are interested in, we can look into those and break it up into more affordable monthly payments for you.
Okay.
If that's
Yeah, I mean, I read online that like a single implant costs like $5,000.
It does kind of depend on what you need. It would depend if we have to do an extraction, things like that. So the best thing to do to be able to give you the most accurate estimate possible would be to have you come in, see Dr. Rich for a free consult, and we can go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
And you said you have financing options?
Yes, we do have new
Okay.
financing options.
Okay. And do you know like about how much it might cost me monthly?
It would honestly depend on the cost of treatment, but we have many different options that offer quite a few different terms. We'd be able to find one that works best for you.
Okay, I guess I'll come in.
Perfect. Let me get you scheduled.
Great. Perfect. Excellent. Thank you for that. Great.
Yeah.
I lost my train.
Yeah. What other scenarios do you run in that it would constitute a curveball or something that would be a little bit out of the ordinary?
We do, I would say, run into a lot of people that have been missing teeth for many, many years that might not qualify for implants. They're very interested in implants, but when we call them and they say they've been missing teeth for like 20 plus years and they're just now, you want to kind of walk the line where you can't promise them that they're going to be a candidate for implants, but you want to at least have them come in.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward this scenario. This is a good scenario, but it's a less common scenario unless you guys want me to roll this scenario. So if you want me to roll this scenario, thumbs up. If you want me to go to the finance consultation part, I want you to do thumbs down. It doesn't mean that anything's thumbs down, but thumbs down if you want to go to the finance consultation part. Yeah, which is just awesome. You got to see it. So I am going to forward that. What we're going to do is I've got a bunch more scenarios and a bunch of other people that I've done this with. And it sounds like you guys are kind of digging this. You guys are interested in this. Is that true? Thumbs up if it's true. You like these scenarios. Okay. So I'm going to fast forward to the scenario where they're actually dealing with the financial consultation and the process. And it's awesome, worth waiting around. Here we go. Invent the scenario and the cost of the treatment plan, Kathleen. What would be, let's just pretend, just take a usual.
Pretty typically lately, we're doing 56,000. I feel like.
Okay, good. So I want you to lay out what that is, know, and play, because obviously the doctor has diagnosed it officially. What does doctor do in the room and where does he hand it off to you? Is he present with you in the room? I know that varies, but tell me a little bit about that. Okay, everybody take note. This is how they present. Everybody watch very closely.
Most times he handles the initial presentation. So he says, this is the best option for you. This is what it entails. It entails this long of a surgery. If they're doing anesthesia, okay, we'll schedule with the anesthesiologist. And then he always handles the number first.
Okay, good. So he's said the number.
Yeah.
Patient
Yeah.
goes into cardiac arrest.
Yes. And then we come recess.
Okay, good. Okay. And so what does he generally say at that point? Because you've been in the room when he's laid that initial figure and a person goes into panic and shock and I don't have that kind of money.
Yes. So he'll say, sometimes he tries to make light of it. So he'll say, I know I just gave you like a really big number. So now that you're mad at me, I'm going to have Kathleen come in. She's going to go over everything and break it down for you. If they're in the back consult room, which is like an actual operatory, then sometimes he'll have us come with him. So he'll introduce us. He'll be like, Kathleen's right here, or Beth's right here. She's going to walk you up front to the consult room. If they're in the consult room, then he just says, you know, Kathleen's going to take over from here, or I'm going to go grab Beth. They're going to come in and just go over more of the financial information with you. And he always finishes, but if you have any questions, I'm just right down the hall. Kathleen or Beth, they know to grab me. If you have any comes up that they can't answer. And then he usually says, but I'm sure they can answer anything that you need.
Great. Okay, so let's take it from there. So Dr. Rich has just walked out and here we are. Wow. I mean, I want this and I got excited in there, but I had no idea, Kathleen, that this was going to be costing that much. So I think we're kind of at the end of this appointment and I appreciate all of your guys' time, but
yeah, I completely understand that number is a big shock, especially if it's not something you were expecting.
definitely.
So I totally understand. So why don't we do this? Part of my job is to come in and help you figure out a way to achieve this goal, if this is something that you really, really want to do. So since you're here, since you have time, let's just go through some of the financing options so that way, if you decide that this is something that you do want to do, you already have all that information. You don't have to come back in. So why don't we just sit down, go over everything, and we'll just kind of take it from there, one step at a time.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. So
Okay, did you all see what she just did there? Thumbs up if you see what she just did there. Person gave a very, very hard stop. I am done. Wow. No, I had no clue. I'm out. Thank you for your time. And what was the first thing she did? Put it in the chat. What was the first thing she did to my origination? I am like, wow, I had no clue this stuff was that. What was the first thing she did? Put it in the chat. What was the first thing she did? Yep. Acknowledge. Right. I totally understand. I can only imagine. Right. The person has been heard. Then what did she do? She said, listen, you're here. You obviously want to address this problem. You want to get this done. Why don't we just take a second and explore the options of what that would mean? And got his agreement. Everything is towards agreement. It's building agreement. Never head-on fight. It's, I understand you. Now let's see, and building agreement the whole way through. All right, here we go.
I have a number of different lenders. Now I know that the number you and he talked about was $56,000. Would you be looking to finance the whole thing, or would you be interested in putting some money down to save your monthly payments?
Well, to be quite honest, I thought this treatment might be as much as, $5,000, maybe $10,000. And I was going to, take some out of my savings, which I can do without penalty. I wouldn't be touching any of my retirement such. So I thought 10,000 was going to be on the worst case scenario. Again, my fault. I'm not telling you that what you're saying, I honestly had no clue that this is what this stuff kind of costs.
No, I completely understand. And that's why we always have patients come in for a free consult, because we want to give you the time to get all the information and then process everything that we're going over with you.
Okay.
So let's go with the idea for now, just for numbers' sake, that you would put down $10,000.
Okay.
So we have a number of different lenders, so we'll go through them. Now, it's not a hard pull on your credit, just a soft check initially. If we decide to move forward, then they do a hard check. But for now, let's just put in some numbers and see what we can do.
I don't know if I know the difference between a hard check and a soft check.
So if we were to do, say, a hard check on your credit, it would stay on your credit, where a soft check initially is on your credit and then it falls off.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so since we're looking to say do 10,000 down, so we'd be looking to finance 46,000. So a couple different lenders that'll go up to that amount. So let's go through, enter all the information. There's some information I can get from your chart and some that I'm gonna need from you. So I just usually go through, put in all the information I have, and then we get to the, okay, so what would you say is your annual income for the year?
Well, I'm, fitting now as, semi-retired, probably around, 55, 60, something like that.
Okay, great. And do you have any additional income in the household to report? Your spouse, any other sources of income?
Not really.
Okay, no problem. And then do you rent, own, or other?
We own our house.
Okay, and what's your share of the mortgage?
How do you mean my share?
So sometimes with couples, they split up their mortgage. So one handles this half, one handles the other half.
That's weird.
Yeah, one person is fully responsible. So what's your portion of your mortgage?
Yeah. So my wife and I, we share everything. So we pay the mortgage, which, we had it, the house mostly paid off, but we then took out a second just to do some renovations and stuff like that. So our mortgage is now, I don't know, it's about $1,700 a month.
Okay, no problem. So I'll put everything in, run it. So here's the list of terms. So what I'm going to do is, I know that it looks a little confusing because it looks like I'm not doing anything on the computer because we have a privacy screen. So I'm going to print it out so that way we can lay out all of them in front of you with all the terms. So print out all the lenders.
Good. Now let's talk about, so what lenders are you using?
Okay. So the initial lender that I start with, I usually start with Allegro. So that's
This is between us now. So this is just
oh,
from
just between us. Okay.
yeah. We put the scenario on pause. Let's talk about the lenders and why and in what order.
So currently, I would say my go-to would be Allegro. They have a very high approval rate. They go up to 45,000, and then the lowest that they'll finance is 12,000. They are the waterfall for care credit. So if it's over 12,000 with care credit, you go to Allegro. If it's under with Allegro, then you go to care credit.
Gotcha. And then what sort of credit score do they generally need in order for you to see those kind of approvals?
I think they're low 600.
Yeah, I believe they're 630, 640. Right.
But they've been approving a lot of people recently. So
okay, good. So that's Allegro. What other credit institutions?
Then I would say Proceed is another great one. They go up to 75,000. And they offer up to 10-year terms. Yeah. So that's a great option. Allegro only goes out to 84
months. And then why would Proceed be your second go-to instead of Allegro?
They have higher interest rates typically.
Okay, good. Interest rates for Allegro, typically for decent credit.
For Allegro, I mean, probably 10%.
Okay, and for Proceed?
If you choose, they're 84.
Yeah, if you turn, they're 84.
Because Allegro has a deferred no interest 2 years.
Gotcha.
So if you paid off within 2 years, no interest.
Are you guys noticing the level of detail that these two know and understand about financing? Thumbs up if you're noticing how much they know about this. Do you think that's important? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. Yes, it is. Note this well. Continuing.
No interest.
Great. And Proceed?
Proceed, the highest I've seen with them is like 24.99%.
Okay. And more average would be more average. What would be the more average?
12.
13.
Okay.
Yeah, 12.99. Yeah.
They also do cater to a little lower credit score than Allegro. So,
such as?
I want to say maybe high 500s.
Okay.
I believe they said.
But don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
They have lending point too. So if you don't get approved for Proceed, you have lending point.
Understood. Good. And what other credit institutions?
Lending Club.
Yeah, they've been approving people.
Yeah, we've had a lot with them. We also use Alpheon, not as much, and then Care Credit. But Beth and I typically don't really do Care Credit because it doesn't cover the higher procedures.
You see on Lending Club, what are their limits?
They go to 50, right? Lending Club.
Wait, money or terms?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, money and then terms.
I think they're 84 months
Mhm.
for a one-time loan. They do also have a revolving line.
Okay.
But
Good.
usually their interest rates are around 13.
Actually,
sometimes higher.
their lowest was 9.47.
Even 9.47.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Okay.
good. I haven't seen that.
Okay, good. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so we're going to resume the not credit scenario, where the person runs their credit and then Kathleen walks the person through and closes this person who has a significant other objection, right? Says, I need to talk to my wife. She does a brilliant handling for that. So some of you are probably going to have to turn off at, because we're now even into our hour and a half. Some of you can hang around. If you can hang around, I would do so. This is the treatment coordination being done routinely that brings this about. I'm going to ask you all this question before I resume the scenario. Some of you are going to hang around, some of you are going to go. But here is a very key question. How many of you would like to import Beth and Kathleen to your practice and have them in your practice, right? Good. So a lot of people raising their hands. Good to know. They're not going anywhere. So here's what you do. Hey, Kathleen, turn your microphone on for a second.
Yes, Larry, let me have Beth come next to me.
Okay, good. Yeah, Beth and Kathleen. Hey, Kathleen, what was your background before
Oh,
Salvatore
this is our
Dental?
favorite thing. We say this in group interviews too. Okay, so I have a degree in early childhood education, and before working here, I worked at Panera for 3 years. And then I found this amazing place, and I'm never leaving, so they can't make me leave.
Okay. And when you came on, what were you hired on as?
So I was hired as Dr. Vera's assistant, and to be brutally honest, I almost didn't make it past the first month because I was in such fear until Dr. Vera sat me down and was like, "What's wrong with you?" And then here I am now.
Right. And you have completed, since then, you have completed the power program. You got assistant trained, then you did MG training, you did the ABCs, and now you've completed the power program, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Great. Beth, your turn.
Yes, so I have a degree in marine science. I worked at Old Navy for 6 years before this, and I was hired as a scheduling coordinator.
Right. No dental background, either of you, correct?
No,
No, not at all.
Good. And now, Beth, you are also a power program completion, and you guys have learned it. So I just want everybody to get the idea. You don't wait for brilliant staff. You create brilliant staff. You create your team members. Everybody here on this right now can be at this level. It's just a matter of learning, and it doesn't happen overnight. But I'm just letting you all know, you don't need to bring and go looking for a Beth and a Kathleen. You need to create that. And if I'm talking to you, you need to become that. And that's, again, not going to necessarily happen overnight. So any comments on that, Kathleen and Beth?
I would just say, I think the best thing that happened to Beth and I is that Dr. Vera and Dr. Rich never put a stop on us. They never said no. So we both started by doing doing training, doing ABCs, and then we asked for more, and they never put a limit on it. Like, I was still an assistant when I started my power program. They didn't say no, they let me keep going. Beth was still a scheduling coordinator when she started hers. And we've been empowered and given, the confidence from them, and also from all the training we've gotten. And they let us run with it, and they trust us with it. And we drill with them, we drill with each other to always keep ourselves sharp and ready to go. And I think that's the biggest thing, is you never want to just think, oh, I've learned everything I need to learn. There's always something else you can add to your tools.
Yeah, and I feel like they are really great with just answering all of our questions as soon as possible. Because I had no dental knowledge going into this job, and obviously I had so many questions, and they were just right there, ready.
And Dan too, he answers 57 texts and emails from us a week, so thank you for that.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Let's everybody give them another big round of applause and thank them for contributing to today's content. Excellent. Good. And I'm going to resume the scenario. For those of you that can hang around, I'd suggest doing so. This gets really cool here. There you go.
The lowest I've
That's pretty good. That's the lowest I've heard from them.
for a long term.
And then what is the process that you guys go through you check all those? You get a soft pull on all those companies?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And do you have a service that you use to do that? Or is it manually you're checking this for each one?
We manually.
Yeah, unless they're a pre-qualification,
Yeah.
we manually do it, or a preset, unless they're a preset. We do all the pre-quals ourselves, but it's pretty easy and quick. It doesn't take too long.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Okay, good. And then you just do it, you just open up a bunch of different windows, a bunch of different tabs and just rock and roll. Okay, good.
Yeah, I start with one. Once that's done, print those terms, go to the next. And I let them know, okay, I'm going to try the other one now.
Mhm.
And I say, okay, I have a third one. Do you want me to also try the third one, or do you want to go over the first two right now? Because if they have a terms that they like with Allegro or Proceed, then I'm not just going to keep doing soft pulls on their credit.
Yep.
So I usually ask them there, and sometimes they'll say, no, I just want a third option. Got that. Everything out in front.
Some people come in specifically knowing like, I want the 2 years interest free,
Yeah.
or like, I want just an interest free option.
Mhm.
So then we don't have to run every single option.
Yeah. We just go immediately to the interest rate.
Good. And so the interest-free option would be?
Allegro. But they have to be able to pay it off in that 48 months. Otherwise they get,
Yeah,
or yeah,
24.
24 months. Otherwise they get hit with
Oh,
all the
large.
interest.
Yeah.
So you get all the benefits from the original loan terms, not have left to pay.
Okay.
And it's usually a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like, before they do that, we always are like, are you sure
Mhm.
you want to do this and you're going to pay it off?
Gotcha. Great. Good. And the low interest go-to finance company would be?
Honestly, I don't know. Allegro.
Depending on the credit.
Allegro, yeah.
I mean, if they want, their 84-month option with their interest rate is pretty low.
Great. Good.
And they
So
are-
we've gone through that. Yeah, go ahead.
Allegro is currently piloting longer terms
And I
Wow.
think more money.
and yeah, a higher amount. We're in their pilot program now. I don't think all offices have Allegro yet. We were selected to be a part of it. But now they're running longer terms and a higher dollar amount.
Great. Good. So then now we've done that. I choose a plan that is most amenable to me.
Mhm.
And I say, okay, good. So I would say, Kathleen, that I'd probably be most interested in this plan with this rate and that, but I do need to discuss this with my both my accountant and my wife.
Okay. I totally understand that you want to make a decision with her. The best thing is for her to get, if any questions come up, is for her to get the information directly from the source. So would you be able to call her so I can talk with her, Dr. Rich can talk with her while you're in here? So any questions that come up, we can answer.
You mean call her literally, right? Kind of shock her with this $56,000 price tag over the phone?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that if we're able to call them, and I know it's initial shock, just like you had, but if we can kind of talk to them and explain the process and how we can break things down for you, usually it goes a long way.
Okay. Well, I suppose so. I think I'd feel a little bit more comfortable if we did it in person. Maybe we could come back. We're planning a vacation. So we could be back in here like, 2 or 3 months on the very outside, and we could discuss this.
Well, when do you leave for your vacation?
We're probably going to be leaving, let's see, a week from Friday.
Okay. So why don't we do this? Dr. Rich has some time tomorrow afternoon.
Mhm.
Why don't, since it's still fresh in your mind, and I don't want you to forget any of those questions or anything that comes up, let's schedule a time for you and your wife to come in tomorrow with Dr. Rich. So that way all of your questions are answered while it's still fresh in your mind.
Okay.
And the other thing is this approval that we did is only good for 30 days. So I would hate to have the interest rates go up or anything on you. So let's just speak with him, get all your questions answered, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, and I guess we could just try calling her right now and seeing how that goes.
Okay. Yeah. So
Okay.
why don't we do this? I'll have you call her,
Mhm.
and then you can kind of talk with her through it. And then whenever she has a question, or if you want me to speak with her, then just let me know and I'll be right here.
Okay, good. So you're okay if I talk to her off of speakerphone initially?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good. I think that's a great scenario. That's all the time we have for today. How was it? How are you guys happy you're here? Thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. Okay, I got more scenarios, I got more content, I got a bunch of stuff, but we're going to wrap it for today. For those of you who stuck around, that's a lot of you. I don't know how many we got here right now. Let me see. Participants, wow, 54 of you hung around. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I am here for anyone. The whole team of Blumberg Digital is here for you. We want to see you succeed. We want you to have the tools that you need in order to get the job done. If any of you have any questions, as I covered earlier, digital reactivation, we have 4 openings left, 4 openings left for the special, which is we do once a year. So reach out to Amy at bloombergdigital.com if you want information on what that is to fill up your schedule, either quality consults or you need to fill your hygiene schedule or both. All right. Advanced marketing seminar coming up. It's coming up, and you are going to learn everything you need to know, just like these two, with regards to marketing basics, social media postings, grabbing testimonials, before and after photos, posting on your website, posting on Google, updating your Google address, getting tons of reviews. It's covered. 2.5 days of awesomeness. Otherwise, that's all I got. Again, I appreciate your involvement. As always, you guys have been a blast. And if you don't have any questions for me, I'm going to sign off and let you all go. If you do have questions, go ahead and raise your hand or put it in the chat. I'm going to be around for a few more minutes. Otherwise, everybody, thank you very much.